Access, an inside look at what it takes to operate Iowa's largest entertainment and convention facilities. This is Iowa Events Center All Access. From Iowa Everywhere.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome into another episode of All Access here on the Iowa Everywhere Podcast Network. We're presented by our friends down at the Iowa Event Center, the Casey Center, the EMC Expo Center, and the Community Choice Convention Center. Matt Vaywinkle and Adam Flack here for another episode. And Adam, let's just get right into it. You guys had a couple big show announcements over the last couple days and some big country acts coming down to the Casey Center.
Couple big country acts. You know, we announced last week, we announced Luke Bryan coming up in June, on June 19th. He was here in 2024 and was a great show, high energy. You know how he has a ton of hits that he plays. So that one will be another big one. Special guest Drew Baldridge, Ray Lynn, and Carly Scott Collins. But that was one of our announcements. That one won't go on sale until Friday, February 6th.
Country music superstar Luke Bryan, live. Word on the Street Tour, Friday, June 19th, Casey's Center, with special guests Drew Baldridge, Carly Scott Collins, Ray Lynn, and DJ Rock. Pre-sale for City Card members begins Tuesday, February 3rd at 8 a.m. through Thursday, February 5th at 10 p.m. Before the general public on sale Friday, February 6th at 10 a.m. Get tickets at HiVTix.com.
The one that'll go on sale this Friday is Zac Brown Band, which will bring their Love and Fear tour, presented by Margaritaville by the Sea. Grace Potter is a special guest on that one, and Zac Brown Band just wrapped up another round of shows at the Sphere in Las Vegas. Those went extremely well, and now he announced this new tour. So excited to welcome him back for the first time in 16 years.
That's crazy. It's been that long since he's been at the Casey Center. You played at the State Fair about 6-7 years ago, and
Yep.
this will be a great show. I love Zac Brown Band. From what I've watched some of their live shows. I've never been to a show in person, but they have a really good live album that I like to listen to with some of their early hits.
Sure.
And they have a full band. He's got such an incredible voice too, right? Just a killer voice.
He does, and they've got songs that are upbeat and like Chicken Fried, and they're more catchy, and then he's got some that are a little bit slower, and so he's got a good vocal range in terms of what they're doing. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It was one of those really good shows when we opened, and to have him come back now is great. He's changed his body type and everything since then, but he's pretty cut up now.
He used to be a little bigger. It looks like, you look at the picture here, he's tatted up, and it looks like he's trimmed down a little bit. He's still got the beard, got the classic Zac Brown beard. But so they just wrapped up at the Sphere. That's cool. So I saw recently the Sphere is opening up a new location in DC, probably in the next couple of years. So that's cool.
Yeah, they said it's going to be a smaller one, so more about that 6,000-7,000 seat capacity. So it'd be an interesting thing to see. I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard people that go out to the Sphere love it because it's a huge production, and it's really more about the production versus seeing the actual band. Because some of those seats are so far away. So I've heard from others that they don't like it as much, but I think it's one of those concert venues you need to experience once and make up your own mind.
Yeah, it's kind of like the like Red Rocks, right? You got to get out to the Red Rocks. This is the different type of venue to see someone in. Cool. So Zac Brown Band, the Love and Fear tour, that is coming up November 20th, a Friday show at the Casey Center. Something to look forward to.
The biggest party of the year is here. Zac Brown Band, Love and Fear Tour, presented by Margaritaville at Sea. Friday, November 20th, Casey Center. Zac Brown Band, with special guest Grace Potter. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at ZacBrownBand.com. Don't miss Zac Brown Band, Love and Fear, live.
Filling up the calendar. I love it. So Luke Bryan, Friday, June 19th. So that one's coming up sooner. So those tickets you said go on sale on Friday, February 6th, correct?
February 6th, yep. So we've got an extra week on that one. Didn't want to put both those shows on sale on the same day. So we'll go the Zac Brown because they were in first, and then Luke Bryan the following week.
It's always fun when you can drop a show announcement on a Friday, send people into the weekend with some good news. So
yeah, it is. It's one of those mixed things because it's great to announce on a Friday. People are all excited, but then, you got to wait for 2 weeks to buy the ticket. And so will that excitement carry through over 2 weeks, or do you find something else to use your time on in that span? The Monday announcement's good because it's a little bit closer, like with the one this morning. You announce on a Monday, go on sale on a Friday. It just kind of helps you keep the promotion of the event up a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Well, in 2025, you guys brought in so many comedy acts, right? And your first comedy act, I guess, of 2026 will be Nate Bargatze, Friday, April 24th at the Casey Center. And there's been some news going around with Nate Bargatze with his podcast and all that. So what's going on with Nate?
Yeah, I just think it's a big show coming up. And honestly, I'm not sure how much longer he's going to be touring. He's got so much going on right now. And I know he's got aspirations to be a lot more involved in feature films and TV and entertainment. So you're right. They did recently announce he was leaving his own Nateland podcast. I think they'd done 300 episodes or something with him. That podcast will continue just without him. He was just announced as the 2025 most tickets sold for he's number one comedian for a touring comedian. He did over 677,000 tickets, which is pretty incredible for 1 year. And then, as you mentioned, he's kicking off an ABC game show called The Greatest Average American on February 25th. I'm not sure what'll be involved.
Can we be on that show?
Exactly. What I heard was that the grand prize will be like whatever the average American salary is. I think it was $67,000 or something. So they're leaning into that. And then March 13th, his first feature film comes out called The Breadwinner. So that's pretty cool. A lot going on with him, including looking at doing a theme park in Nashville that's really geared towards families. And so we're excited. April 24th, Casey Center, still tickets available. We'd like to see that one sell out.
Nate Bargatze.
It's a lot to have two dogs because you got to open the back door and let two dogs out.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Casey Center. Friday, April 24th. Tickets available at natebargatze.com.
That's awesome. And you guys brought him, was it 2 years ago he was at the arena? So
yeah, he toured 2 years ago. At the time he toured, he was the highest selling comedian, then Adam Sandler and then Shane Gillis. So that's surpassed, but looking to get Nate back up there at the top.
Awesome. Nate Bargatze, Friday, April 24th, Casey Center. Tickets available, HiVTix.com for that. All right, a couple other housekeeping things. Wolves and Wild have games this week. The Wolves are in action tonight, Monday night as we're recording this, but they have another game Tuesday night versus Mexico City, right?
They do, yeah. So their season, believe it or not, their season is starting to wind down. It typically would get over a little bit before the hockey season. There's only 24 home games instead of the 36 I think we have for hockey. And, get out to see them while you can because there's going to be that 3-week stretch with state wrestling and state basketball that they won't be at home. So they'll be on the road for quite a while and then back to end the season. So get down to Casey Center quickly to catch an Iowa Wolves game.
Had a blast catching the highlights from our friends at the Iowa Wild as they played their outdoor game up in Minnesota this past weekend for the Outdoor Classic. And they're going to be rocking these uniforms, it sounds like, this weekend. Their games Friday and Saturday. Throwback threads night. Yeah,
that'll be pretty cool. The outdoor game, for us, it kind of sucks because we lost a home game for that, and they did that up there. But just the experience of doing an outdoor game up in the state of hockey, as they call Minnesota, looked like a really cool setting. I know Maxwell Schaefer was up there as a PA guy that does the home games and went up and did that up there as well. So, yeah, wasn't it like the coldest recorded professional hockey game at
outdoor? Puck drop? Yeah, it was. Yes.
Cool.
I don't know the exact temperature, but I think it was like double digit below, like maybe 11 below zero, something like that. So looked like they still had a pretty good crowd. There were some Iowa Wild fans in the crowd too. Look at these crazy people.
That's cool. A great crowd to have. I have a dog that loves the cold and loves the winter, but it sucks walking her right now. So I can't imagine sitting on a metal bleacher watching a hockey game in negative degree weather. But hockey fans are different.
And I saw the Wild just opened a new. They open these outdoor rinks in different communities. I think they just opened one up in Boone today. So cool stuff from our friends at the Iowa Wild.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, we had so much of the winter so far that's been above freezing that hopefully now they can get the ice done there and get outside and skate.
Hey, and check this out too. So Friday, January 30th, this Friday, 5 p.m., they're bringing Brad Banks back, former Iowa Hawkeye quarterback, Heisman finalist, to do a little meet and greet, autographs, photo op. You have to have, I think, a special ticket for this. So I think if you go on our social media pages on Iowa Everywhere, you'll find the link to that. But we're also doing a giveaway, iowaeverywhere.com. Click that contest tab, and you might win a pair of tickets. So Brad Banks, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always nice to see former Hawkeyes come back. Usually draws a pretty good crowd. So I like what the Wild are doing with this, really trying to make a good connection with the local universities and colleges and bring those fans into hockey games, because you can't see a lot of hockey around here other than the Wild. Yeah.
And the first 1,500 fans will get a free Iowa Wild scarf. So get on down to the Casey Center, enjoy some hockey. I know it's cold outside, cold inside, but it's hockey season, right? You got to get inside and enjoy some hockey down at the Casey Center. Cool. Good stuff there. All right. Some stuff coming up in February as we look ahead to next month, Adam. You guys just wrapped up the Iowa Port Congress, and you're hosting some more events down at the Convention Center, right?
Yeah, it's been it's kind of like our first couple months are typically ag related, right? So other than Port Congress, we have the U.S. Custom Harvesters in town right now, and then the Iowa Ag Expo that first week of February. So we really hit the ground running with a lot of agriculture shows. Home and Garden Show, which is a typical show that we have every year, February 12th through the 15th. And then the Deer Classic, which is our biggest consumer show of the year, will come up on March 6th through the 8th, which is always over that girls basketball weekend.
Awesome. I'll be down there in February for our annual Cardinal and Gold Gala for the Alumni Association at Iowa State. We're actually going to be introducing Iowa State's new president, Dr. David Cook, and his wife. So that'll be a fun event, too. If you're an Iowa State alum, get on down to the Convention Center.
And when does he take over?
I believe March 1st. So it'll be right before he takes office officially. So very cool event happening down there for that. And John Walters will be emceeing that. So another cool event. Yeah. And then state wrestling's coming right up. Gosh, February will mark state wrestling, and there'll be some new changes coming up for the tournament this year.
Yeah. So for a few years, we had a 3-day individual state wrestling tournament because we had the duels on that Wednesday. And then I think a couple years ago, they switched back to just a 4-day individual state tournament. There were 10 sessions, so a lot of in and out. They've cut that down to 7 sessions over the 4 days. It really helps them with making sure that not one of the classes each year will have to wrestle all 4 days, but the rest of them will get it done in fewer days. And they'll kind of rotate through that year by year. But cutting it down to 7 sessions, they don't start until Thursday afternoon. So 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And the semifinals are all together now on that Friday afternoon, evening session. So really big session, which would be session 5 of the 7. But yeah, just, check iowaeventscenter.com. We've got a schedule up there that shows when each class is wrestling, and you can get tickets right now on HiVTix.com.
Awesome. A lot of good stuff coming to the arena. I think we should hit on too, that's coming in February 12th, the Globetrotters 100-year tour coming back to the Casey Center. So yeah, plenty of reasons to get down to the Casey Center in February.
That's right. We just had a Globetrotter in town over the last weekend and MLK Day. I did an appearance at an Iowa Wolves game, went to Blank Children's Hospital, and did some other media interviews throughout town. So Globetrotters are coming back, and it's just the old traditional show. It's, as you can tell, 100-year tour. They've been touring for a really long time, and we're fortunate to have them each spring.
I'm dumb, and I keep seeing this graphic, and I just looked at it thinking, oh, this is just a guy like throwing a ball. And I realized it's the different layers of like the different uniforms for the Globetrotters. Like it took me a second to look at that. If you see it, if you're watching with us, it's kind of a cool graphic kind of showing the different uniforms that the Globetrotters have worn over the years. So it's pretty cool. So I'm sure they'll probably incorporate some of that cool history into the event too, right?
Well, I'm wondering what they'll do. They rebranded and did, as you see, the top of that player on the graphic has that kind of black uniform on. They rebranded to that a year or two ago. So it'll be interesting to see if they continue to wear that or if they do a throwback to what they used to wear with the red and white striped shorts.
All right, cool. Good stuff coming to the Casey Center and the Iowa Event Center. One more reminder, too. So you guys just announced Zac Brown Band. Those tickets will go on sale this Friday. Some pre-sale opportunities for that, too, right? Some Cyber Club.
Yep. Yeah, the easiest way to do that is go to iowaeventcenter.com. Make sure you're signed up for our Cyber Club. That email will go out to you Wednesday afternoon in preparation for the pre-sale on Thursday, which doesn't start until noon on Thursday. And then the on-sale will be Friday at 10 a.m. But if you want early access to tickets, get to the Iowa Event Center Cyber Club.
And same thing with Luke Bryan's Cyber Club pre-sale Thursday, February 5th, 10 a.m.
Yep.
And then tickets on sale to the public Friday, February 6th at 10 a.m. So refresh, get your tickets, if you want to get in, get your tickets early, get them often. All right, cool. Anything else, Adam, before we wrap?
I think the only thing is, historically we've always done pre-sales through email. We still do that, but if you prefer text, we do have a text club that we'll send out that same pre-sale code and get you in. If you prefer to get text messages instead of emails, just sign up on iowaeventcenter.com.
Yeah, good reminders. I like getting the text too. It reminds me like, oh yeah, I forgot these tickets are coming soon.
That's right, a little more immediate.
Absolutely. Cool. Yeah, follow Casey Center on Facebook and Instagram too. Get the latest updates on what's coming, what's happening around the arena. And of course, iowaeventcenter.com. All these tickets available, HiVTix.com. All right, for Adam Flack, Matt Van Winkle, thanks for tuning in to another episode of All Access, presented by the Iowa Event Center.